inexpensive 1750 PSI power sprayer. Welcome to Urban Monk TV. Hey, welcome to Urban Monk TV. So I've owned this thing for a few years now. Clearly it's gotten some use, and I thought now's probably a good time to do a review on it because I've owned it a while and I've used it a while. Like many of you, I look at the inexpensive prices of Harbor Freight tools and I wonder, is my money better spent just spending a little more for something a little bit more upmarket, or is this thing good enough? And here's what I've got to say about this unit. I've owned it a while.
So the wand is plastic. I guess maybe that is not such a bad thing. It's light. I haven't had any problems with it. I can adjust the spray coming out of it from either a pinpoint or fan it out a little bit. Of course, when I fan it out a little bit, then it seems to lose a little bit of its penetrating power. I'll show that later. But it's got a pretty healthy length hose. I'll let the specifications on Harbor Freight's website speak for themselves as far as the length, but with a short section of hose leading up to the unit itself and then the hose for the wand, you can get pretty far away from your water source. And of course, if you have a longer hose, that'll help too.
So I know I just said that this thing was leaking even when I had it snugged up, but I've now moved positions in my yard here where I needed a longer hose, so I got a longer section of hose. This is a different hose than the one you just saw previously that was leaking. And I've got the pressure on right now, full blast, and it is not leaking at all. So the problem was the hose, not this thing. I thought about leaving that out of the video, but then realized, well, I bought that cheap hose at Home Depot, and I imagine a lot of other people have gone and bought a hose at Home Depot too, so maybe it's useful to leave this in and realize that if you get one of these and bring it home and you got a leak there, you may not necessarily want to blame the pressure washer. You want to take a look at the fitting on your hose.
It's got a nice GFI ground fault interrupter built right into the power supply, and the cord is plenty long. There's actually more cable available there. I've even got some more to go. So I've got these two lawn chaise lounge chairs that have been sitting out for many years, and you can see they haven't been cleaned in a while. I did clean the one on the right. The one on the left is just as the right used to look. So there's the end result. Let me show you this thing in action on the chair, but before I do that, I want to show you what just a regular garden hose will do to clean up this one.
If you like motorcycles, custom builds, or just like a good story about a man's 3-year effort to build a tribute to his childhood teacher, get a copy of Creating Mr. Corton. In it, you'll learn how this man changed this man for the better. How this man took this and built this. How these guys became lifelong friends and enthusiasts of motorcycling and craftsmanship, and how the name Urban Monk originated. It's available from Amazon anywhere in the world that Amazon ships, in both paperback and ebook, or you can purchase through a link found on urbanmonktv.com. Get your copy of Creating Mr. Corton today.
Okay, so first, I've just got my garden hose straight from the faucet on the house. And, you know, this is a sprayer like any other sprayer. There's nothing special about this thing. And I just want to see what I can do with plain old garden hose pressure. So I'm able to clean it some. Now I'll do the same spot. Hook the garden hose back up to the pressure washer, and I'll do the same spot, but I'll start over here and work my way toward that area where we use the garden hose. So that little rise in the motor speed was just an air bubble from opening up the water line and then reconnecting the hose. Once that works through, you don't get those. So, you know, clearly this is garden hose, this is the pressure washer. I'm happy with it. The other thing I've been doing out here today is just cleaning up my concrete. It does a pretty good job. I don't know if a higher power pressure washer would do a better job of getting these dark spots in here. Perhaps a little, but I'm satisfied with this result for just common household use. As I said before, you can do either a fan pattern. Okay. You can adjust the fan or go to a pinpoint. And so, of course, as I'm working here, sorry about the neighbors working on the roof, I can use a fan. Which gives me pretty good cleaning penetration. If I fan it out too much, then it doesn't clean quite as well. Not bad though. Or I can go pinpoint. And that really penetrates, but I don't really cover much area. So I've got choices. So I did fast forward that to make for a little bit better video watching experience, but that actually took about 6 minutes. And I'm not done, I need to do the back, of course. The sound is not any quieter than a gasoline engine. It's just different. So I think if you're looking for quieter than gas, I don't think it's quieter. I think it's just a different noise. But it's not bad. I don't have to wear ear protection when I'm using it because it's over there. So in this area, the dirt is, you know, so thick and so bad that I've had to come in to more of a pinpoint rather than a fan to really get it clean. When it was fanned out, it wasn't quite getting it as clean. It cleans it, but I knew I could do better. So the good news is the machine's capable of it, but when I go to that pinpoint pattern, then I make slower progress. Maybe it could be argued that a unit with more power and, you know, gasoline engine or just an electric that has more power would maybe in this case be better because I could be running fan pattern and getting a better clean, but I don't do this that often. You know, I saved a lot of money by buying this unit and it is getting it done. So I think it comes down to your own personal values there. You know, a thought on that gasoline versus electric thing, I'll never have to change the oil on this thing. I'll never have to replace a spark plug or clean an air filter or put gas in it. And could I wash my car and my motorcycle or my boat or RV with it? Yeah, sure, of course. The pressure is so great that there are some areas on certain vehicles that I would be careful around. In particular, motorcycles. I wouldn't go sticking this wand right down near the wheel bearings on a motorcycle because the pressure is going to penetrate through the oil seal outside of that bearing and get water into it, and then of course that bearing is going to fail. So, but if you're back going like that, be great for an RV or a car or a boat or whatever. When you're putting everything away, this hose is pretty stiff, and you know, you can do a decent job of wrapping it up and hooking it back here, but it tends to always be a bit of a mess. It is what it is, and but this is, the electrical cord tucks away nicely, and the wand you can break in half and stick in these two sides. So, you know, it's pretty self-contained once you get everything wrapped up. It's not bad. So I hope this has been useful. This is my review of the Harbor Freight 1750 PSI inexpensive pressure washer. Hey, if you like motorcycles, check out my other videos on my Cafe Racer build and my V-Strom. I also have a book out, Creating Mr. Corton. There's a link in the description below to that book. It is a memoir of the building of a custom Cafe Racer motorcycle. And if you like what I'm doing here with the tool reviews and my other content, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to become an urban monk. Thanks for watching.